Sajid Moghal, owner of Jack Performance Parts.
Welcome back to the workshop. Today's session, we've got Ben Arnold joining us from Racinglines. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Saj.
Welcome to the group. Thank you for supporting us.
No worries.
Our membership here is mixed of a lot of customers and friends all across Europe. We've got people from India. We've got people from Trinidad, Barbados, Australia. It's a real mixed community here, all with a real keen interest of motorsport, modifying, tuning Japanese cars. And I know we've done a lot of stuff with you, Ben, over the years. So it's great to have you here. And maybe tell us a bit more about yourself and your company.
Well, yeah, we've been doing motorsport fluid transfer for probably about 8 years now under the brand Racinglines. Our parent company has been doing hose and fittings for I think it's about 35 years now, something like that. So we've got a lot of experience behind us. But on the motorsport side of things, with this motorsport prototyping, we've been doing that probably seriously about 8 years now.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's still fairly new, but yeah, we've got a little bit of a.
Yeah, well, it's fairly recent. You launched Racinglines and made a good impact. I know there's a huge range of products, and you offer, and we've got to hear ourselves. So we do use a lot of it ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we have tried to spend quite a lot of time and money in developing new products, to sort of fly the flag and make people aware of who we are, because. I've always been a believer with the sort of the hose and fittings. People sort of like, it's been an oversight. People will look at the hose and fittings, on a car and go, it's nice, but they'll be looking at the additional bits that go with it, like the fuel regulator, say fuel rails, things like that. There's swirl part. Pumps. They'll be looking at the actual other parts as opposed to the actual just hose and fittings. Yeah. We have tried to incorporate other product into as well as developing a good range of hose and fittings. We have tried to incorporate a few products that complement it, and also. Yeah, the customer can get sort of everything from one place.
That's really important. Yeah, as a workshop, that's one thing. The last thing you want is to buy components from 3 different companies. They arrive at 3 different times, and they're not compatible, and those sort of issues. So it's good to have a place where we give you a problem, and your guys come up with a solution, send us a whole package in one hit.
Yeah, because I mean, there are a lot of like. Options regards to threads. You can buy something from one place and someone's put something, a particular thread in it or a connection. It might not necessarily be a thread, but a connection on it. And you kind of want someone to handle all that, and that's what we've sort of tried to work with our
So you generally be able to cope with most Japanese, European, and American threads.
Yeah, but I mean, there's more than just the threads as well. There's all a manner of different connections. I mean, a lot of the sort of the new age cars are using the sort of quick release like fittings, like this little SAE fuel connector. That
okay.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
I'm just moving the name so you can't see whose it is.
Well, that sort of thing's brilliant because it makes life so much easier, and it makes it a much more professional job when you're doing things like this.
Yeah. It's as I say, there is the more you look into it, the more sort of options. You just think of hose and fittings, but there are a lot of different options. I mean, as you know, Saj, with our range of hose and fitting, there's quite a lot of options to it. You've got stainless steel braided hoses, you've got nylon braided hoses. You've got your PTFE, so that there's the smell of the fuel, the cockpit. There's there's the lightweight range. There's a lot of different options, and you think it's easy to start off with.
You must have a massive parts store then, parts bins.
Yes, yeah, it always just seems to grow as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is it a real shift towards? I know we spoke about sort of lightweight products, and you mentioned some of the lightweight lines. I think you got one there. Is there more of a shift to using some of these new composite or materials now?
Yeah. I mean, the one thing you can't get away from is that with the the rubber-based hoses, whether they're E85 compatible or not, there is always there's always the problem with the sort of smell, passing through the rubber. Well, we've had a lot of people speak to us about the rubber being eaten away by all these additives now in the fuel. So yeah, like the PTFE lined hose is becoming more and more popular because because of those reasons basically. It does have advantages as well, with being a lot lighter. I mean, this is one of our super light hoses. I mean, it weighs next to nothing. I haven't got the exact weight on it, but you can see it. Can you see in the camera there? And obviously as well with the PTFE, the temperature rating, it'll go up to like sort of just over 230 degrees C, whereas rubber, you start baking.
That's an interesting point. So big power engines and engine bays, it's critical to have the right products.
So people are going more and more towards that. Obviously with these lightweight hoses, the super light range, there is a cost implication, is a little bit more, but it's not stupidly if you get what I mean. I mean, obviously I could talk about the pricing for hours and hours and hours on different fittings, different size and what have you, but it is more it depends on the customer scenario. It depends on what his budget is. I know it probably sounds silly, but it depends how much he wants to spend on that. There's horses for courses. The standard, like if you like air equipped style, our 200 series, up to this lightweight Teflon product. We also do obviously, as you can see with that, it's a fully swaged fitting. But we also do it as a reusable as well, going on to the same hose. So it just has an olive in it.
So people can build the lines themselves as well. Yeah, and obviously cutting
this stuff as well, you can do it with a knife. You don't need any special.
Not that horrible stains, the braided stuff, which is flares everywhere.
There's a lot less blood with this style as well, which is always popular. But so we do cover that as well. We do I don't know if you can see it. It's like the D-3 reusables. It's very similar to that, but it's got the little olive that you insert over the hose, and then you just do it up with two spanners. So
Well, while we're talking, Tim, Ben, we've got some questions coming in. We've got a question from Timothy asking if it's worth upgrading the fuel system on a tuned road car or only on sort of motorsport. What would your opinion be on that?
Obviously there's a few different reasons. You might want to. It depends on how old the car is. It depends what the lines are like. I mean, obviously there's hoses on there that could be brittle with the rubber. There's also the hard lines as well, which can become corroded, and but then it depends what you want to do performance-wise as well.
I fully agree with you. We see so many cars through our workshops here where corrosion is one of the biggest issues on the lines. having to replace them. And also often we get cars in where people have sort of DIY'd a lot of jobs and they've got Jubilee clips on braided lines and they're leaking. And it's just, you know, in answer to what Tim's saying, it's something that's worth doing it properly, even if it's a road car, that you don't have failures and leaks and corrosion and so on.
I suppose you get peace of mind then, don't you, yourself, that you know it's been done, because I imagine, Sad, you see some horror pictures of people who have attempted to do it.
Plenty.
So, but
yeah, Jubilee clips solve. Yeah,
but yeah, there is quite a range that we've got, and as I say, it always just naturally seems to grow as well. You know, you deal with someone who you all want this, and you know, we have got the capability, as we've done for you previously, that you know, specials as well.
Yeah, that's something I was going to bring up with you. I think it's important for people like myself running these sort of companies where we've got projects in, and it's great to have a company you can say, Ben, here's my problem, you guys work out the solution. And your guys are great at that, because we can, we've done this in the past, we can send a massive box of a full set of lines from a car, brakes, fuels, all sorts of fluids, and they rebuild the whole lot out of new lines with all the measurements and all the angles. It makes life so much easier.
Yeah, that comes from, you know, there's a lot of our staff that have been in this game for a long time. So yeah, it's all they know really. So yeah, that's what we do get a lot of business from that as well. And yeah,
it's important to have that small business feeling back, because a lot of people are, you're just another customer. So I know with your guys, we do get looked after, and hopefully new customers come to you and get the same help as well.
Yeah. We're always willing to help. I mean, to be fair, we get so many different, you know, people that are in touch that, oh, I've bought this online, and I'm trying to get from there to there and all this, and they bring a big bag of bits in, and then you know, they've bought stuff that, you know, they don't necessarily know the threads and stuff. Again, it's a case of just, it'd be easy just to give it to people like us.
Exactly.
Just go from A to B.
That sounds like me sometimes. I don't know what threads I've got, and I just give it to you guys and sort it out.
Time's money.
Exactly. Carry on. We were talking. Where were we just now? We were talking just about some of the stuff you've made for companies and so on. Maybe tell us a bit about some of your motorsport products that you've built.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're aware of this one, but there is the swirl pot with the pumps enclosed. I know you've used a few of these, Saj. Yeah, basically it's you know, a swirl pot, as I said previously.
Well, the good thing about that is it's the amount of space that saves. Is that an open one there you've got in your hand?
Yeah, this is the twin one. We'd obviously do it for the single, like Bosch 044 as well. But yeah, I don't know if when I mentioned attention to detail, I don't know if you can see on there. That's the the wiring harness there, which is all like rake emmed up, but it's a proper motorsport connector as well. Which you know, again, there are some others on the market, but they're just done with some sort of like, you know, naff spade connectors that you know, we tried to you know, just stand out from the crowd by doing it properly.
The thing I like about that product, Ben, is that the amount of space it saves. Conventionally, when we've done fuel systems, especially with twin pumps, you've got such a big area. You've got 1 litre tank, then you've got your lines, and you've got your twin pumps, your twin filters. It takes up a quarter of the boot space. Whereas with this unit, is it a 1 litre baffle container?
Yes, yeah, it's just over.
Okay, so that's quite innovative. Where you can have that. Normally, you'd have that still in the trunk of the car. What do people normally do with that?
Yeah, mainly it's in the rear of the car. But you know, obviously, you depend on the car. You can put it sort of, you know, wherever really. Like I said, we do it so it houses just the 044, and obviously you can, you know, double them up as well if you're trying to run excessive power.
Yeah, but the system you got there, it's good for 600-700 horsepower car. That would be quite comfortable running fuel for something like that. So for most of the people, I think we're dealing with.
That's
the
the wire and harness, which is all rake hemmed up and sorry.
Brilliant. Yeah, that looks really slick. Yeah, that looks good. And that's a popular seller for you, is it?
Yeah, that's very popular. Yeah.
Okay.
The another product is our own regulator. So it's fitted to an inlet manifold. So that's our Racinglines fuel regulator. Obviously, standardised aluminium. All the hose tail and bolts and what have you are all stainless steel.
Okay. Is that your fuel rail as well there?
Yeah, there is a fuel rail. Yeah, I mean it's coming to the end of its life, to be honest. This fuel rail, we haven't replenished the stock because it's been a bit of a slow mover. But yeah, we do on the website. There are a few rails that we have done. Yeah, we've worked with customers to develop a fuel rail, and and then we've obviously made them and then put them into stock. So yeah, we do sell the fuel rail extrusion for a lot, because obviously we do a lot of bespoke. We work with people doing real sort of bespoke builds. We do the extrusion, so people can buy the extrusion and make the rail themselves.
Oh, okay.
Which is always helpful.
I've got another question here. Sorry to interrupt you, Ben. We've got Sabrina asking, why have I mounted my oil cooler outside the front bumper on my Celica? And does Ben recommend that? Well, the answer is just because it looks cool. Like that old car doesn't need an oil cooler, but it just looks cool. That's the reason. Sorry?
Watch the stones.
Yes, watch the stones. But generally, oil coolers are out. Oil coolers wouldn't necessarily be outside, but they're there to cool the oil, so you get cold air coming through the front. Hopefully that answered that question for you, Sabrina. Thank you. We've got some comments about cool products, nice electrical connectors, so people like what you're showing them, which is good. What else were we talking about just then? So yeah, that's quite an innovative product. What else have you got to show us, Ben?
Obviously I've got the hoses here. We do our own at the same extrusion catch tank.
Oh, okay, that's with AN fittings on there.
Yes, yeah. It obviously got a dipstick on it as well.
Ah, that's a nice little touch, isn't it? I've not seen that before.
Yeah. It's it's got the drain plug at the bottom as well. But it's made out of the same extrusion that we set up for the swirl pot. So we're trying to make multiple uses of it as well, not just one product.
Stuart's joining us. Stuart's a local rally driver. He seems to like that as well. He thinks that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Stuart.
But yeah, it's a proper baffled catch can as well. So it's not just an empty box.
Yeah, so it's very functional. I know in the past, because in the past you built catch cans for us. We do a lot of Subaru, and you built them with all the lines cut to the right size and so on. Are you do you have ready-made kits as well for certain vehicles?
Not at the moment. No, we don't. We are just selling the catch tank as it is. Obviously we couldn't supply the hose and fit, but it's just you buy the catch tank and then.
But I guess if say someone was watching here who was a dealer in Europe or somewhere, and they had a certain range of cars they wanted, you could build them packages for that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. On the vent, we have got a silicon hose that goes on there with the elbow that's formed into the silicon hose. And then it runs about 1 meter long, so and you can just trim it accordingly. But yeah. Okay,
so all these products are great, weight saving, very innovative products. I think a lot of motorsport people like seeing what you've shown them. So we've got lines. I know we weren't going to cover it today, but I think we mentioned that maybe you could touch on maybe some other products you're thinking of doing, some other ideas you've got in the company.
Yeah, I mean there is one product that we are actually working on at the moment. It's not done. Is a cooler for the swirl pot. So in effect it's a water cooler, which because a lot of people do complain about the fuel temperature. So that is one product that's in the pipeline at the moment.
All right, that's interesting.
But, like, yeah, it may be a few more discussions, to be honest, with some of the products, because you could sit here all week. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's one product that we are working on, and so hopefully it'll be done fairly. Obviously, we've got a main distributor on the continent as well, and
Okay.
he's working on some of the development stuff as well. So yeah.
Okay, good. Well, that might, I guess for some European customers, is your delivery? I know you hold big stock levels because you can service us next day. Is Europe sort of fairly quick for you to deliver to?
Yeah. We can. We have multiple carriers that we work with, so we can send stuff out. Yeah, you can have it. Next day, or 2 to 3 day.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not a problem. We do send a lot of stuff to Ireland, so yeah.
All right, good. Well, we've obviously got quite a big customer base who we serve, and we send out your products next day. So we try and hold as much stock as we can, but always we can backstop with you if we're running low on anything. Especially with something in Germany, that'd be handy as well. I've got another question here. Sabrina's asking us about lockdown. I think we touched on this before we started the live chat today about how businesses are affected. She's asking both of us really. I can give you my perspective on how things are, Sabrina. I think we've been restricted heavily. So work, just my father and I have been coming in for 2 months now. All of our staff are at home, keeping them safe. Our gates are closed, keeping our customers safe. So we've been very, very careful and strict with how we're managing things. And our online's been really busy, which is great. So that's kept us going. Now we've been asked to go back to work. I'm a little bit worried how we handle this to make sure we make the right decisions. I haven't got my staff back yet, and I'll make sure we've got things in place, keeping distance, keeping clean, sharing equipment, all the common sort of sensible things, how we tackle those before we bring them back. What's your situation there, Ben?
Yeah, it's to be honest, we're still working. We've got stuff going out. It's very much a case of playing it by ear to a certain degree, because the goalposts keep changing. But yeah, we've been very, very busy. The lads we've had to cut back to a skeleton staff, but the lads have been busy sending product out. I think there's been a lot of people working on projects at home. So it's we've got one. Our parent side of the business. Our parent side of the business is is involved quite with some sort of key suppliers in industry. So some of the staff from there have been sort of helping out, on the racing lines, and the racing line staff have been helping out on there. So we can keep the wheels moving.
Yeah.
So,
but it's going to be, I think, a lot of changes how we practice, how we interact going forward.
Yes.
For a long time, I think, not just for a few weeks and months. I think it's going to be quite a long time.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I've got some more questions coming in here, Ben. I'll bring this one up on screen. Now I know how to use this thing. Thinking of getting a swirl pup for the GT86. After fitting it, is mapping required for the car? I would ideally say that's a question for the mapper, and I'm hoping to get mappers like Ben is here today.
Yeah.
So mappers come and join us, who are better positioned to answer that question. At the end of the day, you're managing fuel pressure, increasing fuel pressure, fuel flow. In theory, it shouldn't be a problem because the injectors are controlling it, but the mapper will probably be the best person to answer that question, rather than me give you the wrong answer today. I've got one more question here, Ben. Sorry?
I agree.
We'll pass the buck on that one. We've got Demetrius joining us from Greece here. Hi, Demetrius. Thank you for joining us. Ask if there's an option for Racinglines parallel fuel rails. Now, I know fuel rail-wise, we've been looking Backler racing products. I know you've had a hand in developing those products as well. Do you have your own rails, or it's Backler an independent product?
Yeah, it's we haven't got our own product. We will be adding some rails to our store, but they won't be under our brand, just for various reasons. But there will be rails going on, but yeah, they won't be under the Racinglines brand.
Just to explain that, I think a lot of people don't know you're a manufacturer for a lot of other brands, a lot of other companies, manufacturers, and so on. So you produce items for other people as well.
Obviously, as you can tell with some of our products, we have got our own design people behind us, so they do work for other people as well as Racinglines. So yeah, I can't really say too much on. But yeah, we do a lot of development work. We've got people in place to CAD people and what have you to do this stuff, and sometimes
we'll look forward to seeing more interesting products coming out like what you've shown us. So hopefully Dimitri answers the question. We've got obviously backler rails always available there, top feed rails. Generally they're designed for the original 550cc injectors, or ones at the same size that will go in there. But that's something we have here, which we can help you with, Dimitri. Dimitri also wanted to ask more about the water-cooled swirl, but maybe, Ben, what we could do after the session on this page, if you've got links to the products or the concepts, we could share those as and when you've got more information to share.
Yeah.
I know you said it's a development idea.
I have to be careful what I say, because otherwise people keep asking me.
Yeah, all right, no problem. What else have we got here? We've got lots of questions coming in. Maybe you could tell us what AN sizes translate to what diameter AN 4 is, etc. I guess there's a chart for conversions.
Yeah, there is. It does start getting a bit confusing, because there's the AN size. On our push-on hose, it does get a little bit distorted. I mean, like AN6, for argument's sake, is 5/16, but then where -6 with some sizes is 3/8. But generally speaking, if you work on the basis that it's 8 mil, AN6 is 5 mil. If you run the push-on hose, the Racinglines push-on hose, and you run if you run the 200 series, you'll be looking at running. Sorry, if you look on the push-on hose, you'll be looking at quarter bore. But then on the 200 series, you're looking at like 3/16 bore. So it does get a little bit complicated.
You gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, some people will, especially on the industrial side, we refer to say -8 as ½ inch. But it does get a little bit complicated. I'm not trying not to confuse you.
Okay, I don't know. That's a lot of detail for a question to answer here. We've got Jerry's joining us from Trinidad. Hi, Jerry. Hope you're enjoying what we're discussing here. I know you're involved in motorsport, so a lot of it will be useful. I know, Ben, you've got some friends in Barbados joining us as well.
Yes, yeah.
Another interesting question here from Timothy. Any kits for the new Supra? I know a lot of manufacturers are looking at new models. What things they should be looking at in terms of products for the future? What do you think about that, Ben?
Yeah, there's so much you would get asked for. It's like one step at a time thing, really. But yeah, I've seen the new Supra. It's BMW based, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure. One step at a time.
A couple more questions here. Stuart's asking us, are the hoses MSA or FIA approved?
Some of the hoses are, the FIA accreditation is very, very sort of unique. There's not many people that have got the full FIA accreditation, but MSA is a different kettle of fish. The vast, well, I'm just trying to think. They are all MSA approved. I'm not too sure on the FIA rating, because to be perfectly honest, we don't do too much on with the FIA side of things.
I guess most of the sort of stuff you and I get involved in would just be MSA level anyway. That should be covered.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good question, that, to be honest. But as I say, we don't get involved with too much on the FIA.
Okay, that's fine. Now, I think something we leave for future, because I know your company's involved in other things as well as just hose and fittings. And you mentioned there's a new range of brakes. We could always discuss that another time. I thought we'd just start with an overview of your business and what sort of things you do.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. Like I say, you could talk about it and bore people to death. But yeah, it's a little bit of a taster of what what we're about, basically.
No, it's been really interesting. I've got a couple more questions coming in. What are the most popular products, Ben?
Oh, I don't know. We do a lot with the silicon, to be honest. We do a lot. I know this is the first time I've mentioned it, but we do a lot with the silicon.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's always being used. The 200 series is probably the most popular. The 210, because it's the most cost effective. It's the what everyone refers to as like the air equip style of hose and fitting. But yeah,
if we've got people watching now who were thinking of maybe promoting some of the products, becoming a seller, what should they do, or what sort of products should they be looking at maybe promoting? Really,
it's all about looking at their market first. Because the thing is, though, you could end up investing £100,000 worth of stock. It depends on what their market is. It's very difficult to say. I know I'm sort of like a bit of a politician's answer, but yeah, it all depends on the market, because literally you could just go and you could have everything, but it probably be like 100 grand. So it all depends on your market.
Do you feel there's sort of certain areas of Europe that are not being covered at the moment that you might want people potentially to look at pushing your brand out there?
At the moment, obviously, the European side is quite new. So Bene Janssen is looking at that at the moment. And because he's in Europe, he's actually located in Germany. So, yeah, he's obviously covering all the German-speaking countries at the moment. But yeah, it's that's sort of where we're at. We are still fairly new, and there
might be good opportunities for people to maybe approach you, or certainly I'm here to help. I can help filter people and come through to you, or put people in touch to get things going. So if anyone's thinking of maybe looking at these products, get in touch with either Ben or myself, and we can help you move ahead. I think, Ben, is there anything else you wanted to add on today's session?
Not really. I've just hopefully there's a little bit of an idea on who we are and what we do. But yeah, if there's any questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, it's this is who we are. As I say, I could talk for for hours really. But it's a little bit of a taster.
No, it's been great. Well, look, like we did last time, people who are watching this live, thank you very much for the questions. We appreciate you joining in. Hopefully we found that of interest. Some really good questions there and good interaction. If you're watching this after the live session's finished, you can still continue to put questions on here. I'll pick them up. I'll ask Ben to go in and always try and answer anything as well. In fact, one question we just got from Stuart here. Do you do a brochure, or is everything online? Where will people find out the range of products?
I've got, at the moment, everything's online. There's a brochure in progress, but it's about 80% done. So, and we're working with with Bene on that as well. But hopefully there'll be one shortly. But at the moment, it's all online. Great.
Okay. By all means, people can contact Racinglines Direct or come through us, and we can certainly help advise as well. Ben, it's been great having you on tonight. Thank you very much.
Sorry about the technical glitch.
Well, so we'll fix it. We've got back on. All right. You stay safe. Take care. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
I am Sajid Moghal, owner of Jack Performance Parts.